In the heart of a suburban neighborhood, where the houses stood shoulder to shoulder in a display of architectural camaraderie, there lay a house that appeared just like any other from the outside. Inside, however, was a different story, one of preparation, paranoia, and the looming shadow of a cataclysmic event that only one man believed was inevitable. This man was Jack, a middle-aged veteran whose experiences in the military had left him with scars both visible and invisible. With rugged features that spoke of hardship and determination, Jack had dedicated himself to a singular purpose: protecting his family at all costs. Jack's wife, Sarah, was the calm to his storm. With her long brown hair and kind smile, she exuded warmth and approachability. Initially, she viewed Jack's obsession with building a bunker in their basement as a harmless, if somewhat eccentric, hobby. But as the walls of the bunker grew, so too did her concern for her husband's state of mind. Despite her doubts, Sarah's love for Jack and her family was unwavering, and she supported him, hoping that his fears were unfounded. Their teenage son, Tommy, was less understanding. A typical teenager, Tommy was more interested in the virtual battles on his video game console than the potential real-world disasters his father warned of. With his messy hair and laid-back attitude, Tommy often clashed with Jack, viewing his father's actions as an embarrassing overreaction. As Jack's preparations grew more intense, so did the skepticism from his neighbors. Whispers of doomsday prepper and paranoid floated through the air, but Jack remained undeterred. His basement transformed into a fortress, stocked with supplies, weapons, and everything they would need to survive the cataclysm he was certain was coming. Yet as the bunker took shape, it became more than just a refuge. It became a symbol of Jack's isolation from those around him, a physical manifestation of the gulf between his reality and that of his family and neighbors. Then one day it happened. The skies darkened, and news reports warned of an unprecedented event on the horizon. The world, it seemed, was on the brink of a catastrophe. As panic spread, Jack's previous isolation was forgotten, and his actions were suddenly seen in a new light. His family, now fully behind him, retreated to the bunker, sealing themselves away from the chaos that erupted outside. In the dim light of the bunker, surrounded by the supplies that were meant to sustain them, the family found themselves facing a new reality. The fear of the unknown, the claustrophobia of their refuge, and the constant, unyielding tension began to wear on them. Jack, who had always been their pillar of strength, began to unravel under the weight of his own fears. Paranoia crept in, whispering dark thoughts and suspicions. The man who had built the bunker to protect his family now became the greatest threat to their safety. In this pressure cooker of fear and paranoia, the family was forced to confront the true nature of survival. It wasn't just about the physical act of living through a disaster, but about maintaining one's humanity in the face of unimaginable stress. Jack's descent into paranoia forced his family to take drastic measures to protect themselves from the man who had once been their protector. Sarah, whose love had been her guiding light, found herself making choices she never thought possible. Tommy, whose world had revolved around virtual battles, discovered the true meaning of courage and sacrifice. In the end, the cataclysmic event that Jack had feared never materialized in the form he had expected. Instead, the real disaster had unfolded within the confines of their bunker. The external world, although changed, was not the apocalyptic wasteland Jack had prepared for. As they emerged from their self-imposed exile, the family was faced with the task of rebuilding not just their lives, but their relationships with each other. The bunker, once a symbol of Jack's paranoia, stood as a stark reminder of the fine line between protection and imprisonment. The supplies and weapons once meant to ensure their survival now served as a testament to the dangers of letting fear dictate one's actions. In the aftermath, Jack, Sarah, and Tommy were left to navigate a world that was both familiar and utterly changed. They had survived, but at what cost? The true meaning of survival, they learned, was not about fortifying oneself against the world, but about holding on to one's humanity in the darkest of times. It was about facing one's fears, not with weapons, but with the strength found in the bonds of family. As they rebuilt their lives, the lessons of the bunker stayed with them, a reminder of the strength they possessed not just as individuals, but as a family united. In the shadow of their last stand, they found not just survival, but redemption.